Hey, what's up, Corpse? How you doing, man? What are you doing? What's up, man? So 2 new features in LootAppraiser have been added. I'm currently testing it out by myself, just trying to make sure everything's legit on it. The 2 changes are, let me make sure everything's loaded with my UI first. Everything else looks fine here. You do notice that the LootAppraiser version now is 2017 1.7.0. And then the changes are when you go into right-click on LootAppraiser in your minimap or in your bar, wherever you have it in your UI. 2 new changes. One underneath general, I've added the feature to ignore soulbound items from appearing in this window here. That was a request from someone that was on the Curse forums, and their reason behind it is when they're in raids, or if you're doing like dungeon runs and something, this gets filled up pretty quickly with BOP items or soulbound items or bind on pickup items, whatever you want to call them. So what they suggested is have an ability to opt out of that, where it would still calculate the value, because I still think the value is part of looted item value, but don't show it here in the list. So there's a toggle for that. And then underneath price source, you notice the other option that I put in there, use disenchant value when looting bind on equipped or BOP items or soulbound items. So this is there, so if someone does have the enchant capability and they want to leverage that as part of their looted item value, this is now an option for them to opt into. By default, both of them are disabled. So all you have to do is check the box and it would be enabled. You get the activation symbol down in the lower left saying it's activated or deactivated. And there it is. So basically what you do is if you want one of them enabled or both of them, they both work. If you want soulbound items to not show up in here and to show disenchant value, you won't see them in here, and it'll use disenchant value instead of vendor sell. If you want to use vendor sell, then you don't check this off. Otherwise, you check it off. So let's do that. So we're going to go in here. We're going to check off this value for show disenchant value. It's for BOPs, so let's see if we can find one. Otherwise, we'll wait until we kill the boss down here. Still works in all the other ones. I have my gold alert threshold set to 5 gold at the moment, just because I was doing some testing. So this would be a little quicker if I did it on a faster guy, but I don't have a faster guy to test it on this realm, so I was just doing patience while I was going through them. Bing, bing, bing. Ooh, Buccaneers. I got 2, funny thing is I wasn't even trying to farm, and I got Buccaneers vest, which is like 15,000 on this realm. I already sold one of them. I have another one to sell, and I was getting all these ones that I wasn't even trying to prepare for. So here we go. We're gonna attack this dude. This one's definitely gonna drop a BOP item or a soulbound item. Kill this dude. Again, it would go super fast, but as I was actually, I don't like to go fast, especially when I'm coding. While I'm killing shit, I'm trying to think of different ways to make sure that I'm covering all the ways of testing. So when I release it, there's no bugs. So I kind of like just sit here and think about other ways that it could potentially. So here it is. I'm going to click this value. Notice it shows up in the list because on our option, we're not ignoring it. But on our price source, we want to show disenchant value instead of the vendor sell value. So if you look at the tooltip, you notice it's 10 silver, 61 copper for disenchant value. That's what it's showing. That's what it calculated down here. Bam. And now if you want, was someone else attacking me? And now if you wanted to ignore it, it wouldn't have shown there. And if you can ignore it and uncheck this, it would show vendor sell price, which is very cool. So you have an option to go back and forth. I could dev the process. I have the code still up over here. I'm just not sure how many people would want to look at it, but I go through a lot of debugging steps, and I try to make sure that when something's released, that it's pretty accurate. So this is like some of the code. A lot of this is test thorough, taking my sloppy code. Again, I'm not a developer per se by trade, or by profession, but a lot of this was cleaned up so nicely by Test Earl and added a lot of things to make it easier to add on now. He uses GitHub. Yeah, I store local. I'm like a hack I'm like a hack it slash type developer.